Hey guys, welcome back. The title of this video is going to be Choose Business Partners Wisely. Choose them wisely, okay? Now in my previous video, I talked about how I went from 70K to 100K salary by starting my own business. And in that process, I chose 3 business partners. So I've got a little bit of experience when it comes to the type of problems and the type of advantages you can have with having business partners, okay? However, there's also another type of business partner you should really be considering, and that's your boss, okay? Your future boss. What do I mean by that? Well, you're probably not going to stay at the same company for your entire career, 40 years. Those days are over, okay? You're going to have a new boss someday, and you're going to need to figure out if that boss is your right business partner, okay? So, what do I mean by that? Well, eventually you're going to get an interview with a company, a couple companies probably, right? When you're out job seeking, maybe you've lost your job, or maybe you're just out there looking for a new job. You're still employed and all that. Well, in the interview process, what you want to do is choose your business partner wisely. How do you do that? Well, you want to spend the time to research this business partner of yours. You want to spend the time as much as you can before you go into that interview about that company, right? Find out as much as you can about them. Go to their website, go to their marketing. If they're a publicly traded company, go check out their financials, see if they're a healthy business, right? See if you've got room to grow in that company, right? Find out as much as you can. Right? Use tools like Glassdoor, LinkedIn. Go do some spying on, any of the people in that company. Go make some network connections, whatever it is. Choosing your business partners wisely is super important, because you don't want to make a move to a new company if you don't think it's going to work out, right? Okay. After you've done your research for this said company that you're potentially going to partner with, well, when you're in the interview, all right, here's what you want to do. You kind of want to be in control in that interview. Now, you don't want to be overbearing. Don't get me wrong. They are trying to find out as much about you as you should be about them, right? But don't feel bad asking them questions about the company. They may not be able to answer all of them, right? But ask them business questions about their company. Ask them how far people can move up, right? Ask them what their revenue, what their profit margins are, because it makes you sound interested that their company is healthy, okay? That, they may not answer it, and you can disclose that, say, look, I understand if you can't answer it, but what it shows is it shows them that you care. You care about working for this company, all right? If you go into an interview and you just sit there and answer questions like technical questions, it's not going to do you any service. It's not going to do you any good, all right? You need to find out about this company, because you may go into that and ask all these questions and they don't want to give you any answers whatsoever, and they give you an offer. You might refuse it. Now, if you're unemployed, you might just take what you can get. But if you're employed, guess what? The grass is not always greener, to be honest. It's not, okay? Be careful about who you partner with, right? These are your business partners. Your new boss, your new colleagues are going to be your business partners, okay? So that really kind of gives a high-level overview about what you should be looking for when you want to be employed, okay? However, you know, if you're going to go the side of small business entrepreneur, there's another story to that. Okay. Now, when you're building a business, a startup, right, you probably think about it quite a bit, and you think, man, I could do maybe all of it, who knows, right? But maybe you can't. Maybe you don't have all the skills it takes to run a startup, right? So many people, they look for partners, right? I'm an engineer myself. I'm not a salesman. I might need some partners to do that. I'm not a marketing person. I might want to find somebody who's big on marketing, right? Or front office or accounting. This is why people partner. And vice versa. If you're on the business side, you might need to partner with a couple of software engineers or hardware engineers or chemical engineers, whatever it might be, right? And this process is different than just going and hiring to be an employee for a company. This process of choosing your business partners wisely should take time, okay? You want to take your time when you're doing this, because businesses, it's not an overnight thing that you want to just quickly have an idea and then jump into business together, okay? You need to be on the same page, including if you're going to be an employee for a company, you want to be on the same page as well. Don't let me forget that one, okay? But you all need to be on the same page if you're going to start a new business. And what do I mean by that? All right, find out what your partner's interests are in this company. What are their goals? Everyone's got different goals in life. You know, are your partners looking at this business as a side hustle? You know, maybe just a little extra income. Or are you all in on this new company? All of you quit your day jobs and everyone's all in, right? Maybe in that perspective, you can have equal equity if everyone's all in, right? But if one of you's only all in and then maybe 3 other partners are maybe side hustling it, maybe the equity should be split a little bit differently. Whether it's sweat equity or capital, it doesn't matter, okay? Because the amount of work people put into a company is gonna be an important factor, because animosity comes into play, right? If one person's working harder than the others and they have less equity, dude, it's just not gonna work out. You know, you all have to be on the same page as far as who gets what and how you divvy up the workloads. So I think that's just an important factor when we're talking about starting a business is find out what your partners want in a business, okay? What are some other things you can explore? Well, maybe your partners have other business ventures, right? That happens a lot. You know, business people, they like to start up more businesses than just one, right? Now you can take this information 2 ways, okay? That partner's business can be an advantage for your startup. There might be some synergies to that other business that you can apply to yours, and maybe it can help kickstart your business, right? However, on the flip side, there could be some conflicts of interest when you have a partner that has a business that's related to your business. That happened with my startup, okay? So just be aware of that can happen too. You can have conflicts of interest when you have a partner that has a business that's similar. So just be aware of that. Now, there's also another disadvantage to that partner having a side business or a full-time business, is that they might decide to spend more time and energy on that business versus yours, okay? So you probably should have some frank conversations with that business partner and say, look, you know, how dedicated are you to that other business of yours? Are you going to spend the time on my business that I'm involved in, right? Alternatively, hey, you can offer up you being a partner on their business. That's another option too that can even out the playing field when it comes to business partnerships. Okay? I'm sure that there are probably even more complex situations that are out there that you got to consider. This is why you got to choose your business partners wisely, and you got to take your time doing it. Okay? Don't just jump in and get excited and just sign on the paperwork, right? Really put some thought into it. Maybe work with these people for a couple of months before you even figure out the equity and official paperwork behind something, because you don't know how they work. You don't know how your team's going to thrash, how you guys are going to resolve conflict and arguments when you're talking business decisions. They're hard. They're not easy. I know it's not easy to do business with each other before you have a formal agreement. You know, I get that. That's something you got to be careful of too. Sometimes you want formal agreements before you create any intellectual property, right? So it's a tricky business when you're doing a startup, but just have lots of conversations. Be very transparent about what your expectations are and ask them what their expectations are. And that even goes for if you're trying to be employed at a company. Ask, what are your expectations? Because if you just read a job description, it only gets you so far. I mean, most of these companies, they're just putting job descriptions that they've had copied year over year, and things change, but they don't change the job description, right? So ask the hiring manager or the boss who you're going to work for, what are your expectations of me? What is the vision for this company? What's the expectations? Because that's going to matter. You know, maybe it's a 50-hour work week. Maybe it's, you got to be on your phone 24/7. Now, if you're in a startup, guess what? And you own it. Yeah, your phone is, the expectation should always be 24/7. Welcome to startup land. All right, you're never off work. All right, that doesn't exist when you start a business with other partners. Hey, by the way, your other partners ought to be thinking the same thing. Make sure they're on that page. If they're not answering their phone within a reasonable amount of time, they're not good business partners, because they're not dedicated to it. They're not hustling, okay? Now, you know, maybe over the years, you make it good and your business is thriving and successful. Okay, maybe y'all can take a break on your phones. But to be honest, it's going to be hard work, either way you look at it. So hopefully this advice helps you guys if you're trying to start a business or if you're going for an interview. You know, choose your business partners wisely. It's important. So if you guys could, take a look at my previous video. And everyone, thanks for coming. Have a great day. Bye.